So it's a story as old as time. You know, the kid doesn't really go to the washroom for a few days, yada, 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 and you're no longer invited to that swimming pool. The adult beverages are poured, the kids are asleep. Welcome to New Dad Gaming, a show about fatherhood, gaming, and new fathers figuring out their gaming lives. My name is Trevor, and I have a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old.
And I'm Jeff. I have an 8-year-old and an almost 6-year-old.
Yes, it's just it's the ultimate horror of, like, anytime you would even think of going to a pool.
Yeah,
where kid was backed up for a few days.
Oh, God.
Our 1-year-old, 1.5-year-old, I guess. And
yeah,
it happened. It happened all over the place.
Okay.
in a very bad fashion. And yeah, the worst, this is a pool that we go to regularly as well. So it's kind of like we're going to have to face that down next time we go. And the worst part about it is that the situation was bad enough that they had to shut down the pool.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And that kind of sucks. But you know who it really sucks for? Is the birthday party that was going on with like the 15 kids.
Can you imagine? Oh my God.
It's just horror upon horrors. Like, first it's happening.
Yeah.
Right, that sucks. Like, that it's
you can't
like,
contain it. There's no containment.
And we did our best to contain it. Like, we honestly did, but just containment methods were not going to be effective. So it spread, and they had to shut down the pool. And already at that point, it's just like, I feel horrified. I feel so sad because I've affected everybody else.
Well,
oh God, that's a birthday party. Oh no. Oh no, what have I done? Oh no, what have I done? Like, this is now a place that I have to theoretically go back to.
No, you can never.
I just but we're members.
How old were the kids in the birthday party? If I don't,
I think they're somewhere between 8 and 12.
Okay, so memories were made. So
yeah, well, they'll remember it. Like, that'll be part of their birthday party. Like, they have kind of like a smaller kind of kiddie pool, but again, like, they're old enough to. It's like, that's not comparable. That's not good.
Yeah, no. Okay.
So yeah, that was just.
It happens. That's all you can do is just shake your head and leave. You should have been manning the getaway car, I think.
Just sprint. So sorry for all this. Bye. So, so we'll say awful things were done. Awful things got out into the public.
Yes.
And I'll use that as a segue, a clunky segue to get into the controversy that surrounded Anthem, because some other non-great things got out into the public and affected everybody's party in a way. There was an incredible article on Kotaku detailing the development cycle of Anthem. And we're not going to get into a lot of, like, the details of that. Everyone should read the piece. It's actually really incredible investigative journalism. But
absolutely, yeah.
I think where it hit home for us, and I'd love to get your take on it, is as dads, the thought of work kind of demanding that of you. Like, there's the crunch period. For those who perhaps don't know, like, there's just this awful crunch period. Despite 6 years of planning, the development of the game really came down to 9 months. People were, like, dropping like flies as far as, like, stress leave.
Yeah,
like it was just horrendous. Like, this horror stories that came out of it were awful, and the thought of being away from your family to be developing something that you love, something that you want. Like what was your take as you were reading that, like, as a dad, and the thought that you might be taken away?
Yeah, like, depending on your stage of life with your family, like, you could be missing first steps, for some young kids. Like, you could be locked in this game trying to make ends meet for your family, and it's taking you away from everything for nights and days at a time, where your kid is probably not going to see you for a while. I remember even just growing up with my dad, he would get home late at night, and I was old enough to remember, but getting home at even 8-9 o'clock at night, there's very little you can do before you have to wake up and get to school the next day. So I can't imagine the crunch time being a dad or mom, a parent in that. where you're going to work and you're probably almost sleeping there for some of it, and having that stress and then going home to a stressful family life, because it's not easy coming home either. So I can't imagine you're just on edge, lack of sleep, stressed out both ways. I'm hoping that people did pull through and something, this kind of shows the ugly side of game development, and something is done about it, because it doesn't sound like it's sustainable, especially to a dad. I don't see it happening.
Yeah, and for it to be, it's this medium that we enjoy so much, and I think with Anthem, we wished it well. Like, I don't think any of us ever want something like this to fail, just for the heck of it. And it's kind of like popular to want it to fail because it's EA and just it's another.
You get on that train.
Yeah, exactly. So I think we pretty much have been on record saying, like we'd hope it does well. We hope this is an awesome game and people have fun with it. Again, I had a friend who adored it, thought it was a lot of fun.
Yep.
But yeah, like I guess what's so great about this piece coming out, and especially kind of coming from this more mature standpoint, especially being a dad and reading about that, it's, man, we got, if there's some way for us to shift our expectations and our desires with this medium that we enjoy so much, just so that the people making it can live their lives and not be affected. Because I'm in the same boat. I mean, my dad worked nights. My dad worked like really crazy hours sometimes. So just some days you didn't see him, or he got home at like just as you're going to bed, which you think for yourself, like, oh well, hopefully when I'm working that's not gonna be the same. It tends to be, doesn't always work out that way for you. But,
exactly. And then to be in a big crunch time for months on end, like you are full steam ahead. So I can't imagine it's not a nice time for anybody, especially on the family supports as well. Like, and people are going on stress leave and stuff. So it's not a good time. But it's hard to like get back to games are made by people, and these people could be parents, families, single. It doesn't, like, there are people behind these games that are in front of this company. And even if you want that game to fail because it's made by a company you don't like, it's kind of like, those people could be just let go because it does fail. So it's a hard thing to balance, and I'm hoping something does be done about it. And it's kind of, draw out other stories from other companies as well.
Would that like affect, let's say they change the structure of the game and it becomes free to play, or crazy sale at $10? Would that change your perspective on buying it now, knowing, like, with our connection to how awful it feels for people to be on crazy hours for work, and then just the knowledge of the story? Would this kind of change your perspective on buying this game, just wanting to be like have distance from it?
You see, I don't know. It's kind of like that weird balance, because now it's like it's already the pool's already been poisoned. Where
I don't know if that was on purpose, but thanks.
So that's already out there, and I think whoever leaked it or talked to the media on this stuff is probably not in a good space, and they probably found out a lot of stuff that they shouldn't have. I don't think I'd necessarily support the game, mainly just because the game's not really for me. I know you're a big Destiny fan on the grinding and stuff, so maybe you would consider it, but I don't think I would consider it just because of this story. And it's kind of hard to support it now too, because then it's like, do I support the people, and do I support this practice, knowing that if it's successful, then they'll just continue, or get new people. There'll be numbers now and not with names. So I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm about the same. I think like there had been some layoffs as well, kind of recently, which is like with the hitting of all the news, it's just the whole title is kind of soured, where even if it seemed kind of interesting, it's just kind of hard not to not see it as that product where this came about. And even before the story, you kind of heard some stuff coming through around bad dev cycles, like it's been there's not a lot of artistry behind it as much as it is grind fest for money, like, so it's certainly soured, unfortunately. I almost say unfortunately, but at the same time, it's kind of good that this is getting aired out. So hopefully everything starts moving into a much more positive light, so we don't have to deal with this in future as much.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but they not much of a win on their hands, but there are still people out there winning a bunch, and I think we'll make for a happier news, better news with switching over to Gaming Dad Victory of the Week. So each week we feature an exceptional gaming dad, and often their kids who are doing fatherhood and gaming so well. So this week's victory goes to friend of the show, Mathew Case, who
Yay!
who may need to equip his daughter with a knockdown shield after his recent encounter during an Apex Legend match. So Mathew had actually reached out to us with this story. Mathew, can't thank you enough for sharing it, and there's no better way to get through this than just to read the words we were sent. So, as an older gaming dad, I rarely game at night. Several nights ago, I was knee-deep in Apex, headphones on, with midnight fast approaching. My gaming reflexes saved my life from being attacked. As I sat on the living room floor, this demon of the night jumped onto my back and wrapped her icy talons around my neck. I let out a battle cry, screamed like a girl, dipped my shoulder, and hauled the beast over and to deliver the final blow. When the curly blonde hair and ballerina PJs entered my sight, I knew mistakes were made. As I flipped my 4-year-old onto my lap, now her yelling too and wide-eyed, my wife stumbled out of the bedroom to see what the hell's going on, called me a dumbass, and went back to bed. My little one had come out sleepily to get a drink, and seeing Daddy wanted a hug. No one was harmed, but we were both wide awake for a while. So there's a follow-up to the story. As a side note, this past weekend when she woke up, I'm an early riser and normal game time is weekend morning. She came around in front of me to say good morning, but stayed out of arm's reach until I saw her.
Yeah.
It was only that one time, though, so not permanently traumatized.
Yeah.
Man, have you had the kid surprise you while gaming? That is way too funny.
Oh my god, it's totally relatable. I think I think there's gonna be a dad moment in your future too. I have had one. I've been in knee deep in VR Skyrim, and I've got a little leg hug from my young kid. So he almost flew across the room on that, like just because you're immersed. Fighting giants. So I totally relate. And it's hard to game at night. Absolutely. I do it with one earphone in now. And it kind of ruins a little of the gaming experience for you, but you need to be ready for life. And life happens whenever, whether you like it or not. So
life happens fast with kids for sure.
Yeah.
Oh God. Yeah. The numbers, like there's that fantastic viral video going around where the streamer was playing some horror game.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And he's, projecting himself onto the screen, and all of a sudden he just like throws his controller in fear, is completely just screaming, like catches his breath, like recovers from his cardiac arrest, and picks up his little girl as he goes. So it seems all too familiar. But the fact that it happened to one of our own with Mathew Case just couldn't help but share. So. So for staring a demon in the eyes and coming out with a wonderful daughter and have a great learning moment instead, Mathew Case has won this week's Gaming Dad Victory of the Week. Congratulations. If you'd like to be nominated or know somebody else deserving, please reach out to us at our website, newdadgaming.com, or our Facebook group or Instagram. So moving on, one of the kind of more interesting conversations, which I think is pertinent to us gaming dads, was with Sekiro, and I'm sure I butchered that.
Sekiro, yeah.
Sekiro,
It's what it is.
Take your pick. The difficulty setting, because there is not an easy mode in this whatsoever. So they've built this incredible world. It looks like a really amazing game, great mechanics, that unbelievable lore, but utterly inaccessible to some gamers, and if I might say, a good chunk of gaming dads who are not going to have time to sink into this. Like, what's been your take on this? It's been an interesting conversation.
So yeah, with this game, it's a From Software game, so it's going to be hard. Demon Souls. It's going to be difficult, but I want a modern day Tenchu. I've been waiting for a Tenchu, a ninja game that has that feel and experience to it, and this game looks amazing. Like it's the visuals look nuts, insane, and then I'm hearing it's not only hard, it's like beat your head against the wall hard, like difficult. You're not dying twice, you're dying 2 million times, and some of the best gamers out there are still having problems. So there has been debate about whether or not they should put in like tweaks to help be the like have the game a little bit more accessible to gaming dads and other people maybe with disabilities or something, to allow them to experience the games. But a lot of people on the other end of that are saying no, this is their vision, it should be hard, these are what these games are, if you can't take the heat, get out. But I don't think that's entirely true. I think there could be an easy mode or something like that, maybe like an assist. It's pretty much easy to say, there's a handicap in the game, and every hit I take 5% of the damage instead of 100% of the damage. Like, it's not too hard to do, and I don't think it ruins any other's experience with the game. They don't have to select that option. It's kind of like Final Fantasy VII with the new cheats that are, no encounters, like max damage and stuff. They're there staring me in the face. I'm not going to use them because I'll feel guilty.
Oh, I use the heck out of those. That was great.
But again, like, they're there for you, right? And if you want to use them, time comes, then fine, go for it.
It's tricky. I almost want to call it, it's just like there's no, what you're getting into with a Souls game. Like, I never even looked at any of the Dark Souls games because it's just, those are inaccessible. And I don't necessarily mind those being there for people. Whereas, like, here is this absurd, crazy challenge. Like, if you're going to play this, you are going to get hurt. You have to really dedicate. There's honesty about that, where it's just, this is inaccessible, this is horrifically hard. Try at your own peril. And, it's a successful formula. That those are obviously huge games, so it's not turning off enough people. I think the only thing I would say is it's not, we certainly want to not ostracize those who do need it to be easier, right? And like you said, you put it perfectly. Like, it's not taking away from anybody else if it is an easy mode, right? No. Like, it's not like it ruins the achievements you had for beating it on hard mode. Like, that's still amazing. Or ludicrous mode, whatever you want to call those things. Like, that's still an achievement.
that's a good one. Yeah, ludicrous mode. Yep.
It's just you're just opening it up for other folks. Like, you're just allowing others to kind of get into it. That was the more interesting part I'd seen. I saw the same controversy with Dark Souls, where there was discussion of like, oh, maybe why don't you guys just put in an easy mode so I can experience your world? And people are like, no, this is a hard game. If you can't hack it, get out. So that doesn't diminish your achievement if I can get into the place and world, and I don't have time to get good at this game.
Saying. As a gaming dad, I don't have time. And a lot of games have like the perfect endings. You have to do something in the game to get the perfect ending,
it's the worst.
Which is insane. But maybe that applies here. Like, if you want the perfect ending, then you play on the normal difficulty mode. If you want easy mode, then you get the whatever ending or something. But I've seen many games do that in the past, and even Demon Souls, when it came out, they didn't have a pause button. The whole game was live all the time. So like, now that at least there's a pause button, are you calling that like something that's helping out players? Like, no, there's a fact of reality here in life. So as a gaming dad, I can't touch that game, and I want to. It looks gorgeous, but I'll have to wait for the next kind of era of gaming in that world.
So I can remember like the just as a sidebar, I can remember like there's only one game I'd ever really 100%ed. It's not even like that. It's not even that like. Let's go off topic. That's not even that great. It's Final Fantasy X2, so 10-2.
You 100%ed that?
Listen, okay, so the thing, Final Fantasy X. I appreciate it was goofy, but that is one of my favorite Final Fantasy games. I adored it. Yep. The card game, the Blitzball, my characters,
dodging
like the
the lightning
general
100
story.
Times.
What's that?
Or what was the dodging the lightning in that field? You had to dodge it like 100 times in a row or something, and you get a weapon. It was Final Fantasy X. I can't remember what it was, but
there was something asinine like that. Like in Blitzball, you had to play like, I must have played like a good 100 games of it, and by the end, it's like, it is super boring. I remember my brother making fun of me because I was spending so much time playing this stupid game. Yeah. He's like, what is this game? I'm like, oh, it's a game within a game. He's like, is it fun? I'm like, no, but that's not the point. But anyways, I adored that game. Yeah. Kind of hated the ending because it's not necessarily a happy ending, although they kind of teased it.
Yeah.
And then X2 though, like you finish it, and if you don't finish it with 100%, it kind of just gives you a nonchalant
congrats
throwaway ending. But then you hear through the grapevine, okay, if you 100% it, you get the ending that you want. It's like, oh
True.
snap, I gotta
Okay.
do that. So I beat that game like 4 times until I finally found the one thing I didn't do 100%, got the ending that I wanted. Super happy
Yeah.
about that. I think that's like the only time I've ever 100%ed something. Because
See,
like, that's it. One, like I did it, like
Yeah.
never again. And then the internet, and then YouTube got so much better. So
Yeah,
I
no,
could just-
well, yeah, that's part of it, right? You can just look up the ending. You're like, oh, that's it. I'm gonna
Yeah.
have to spend 50 hours of my life. So
But yeah, so I don't like. I always like it was always funny because Wolfenstein cheekily makes fun of you if you go if you go into because they call it like baby mode. And
Baby
they make
mode and stuff,
Make the
yeah.
big grizzly guy have like a bonnet and
Yeah.
a suckle. Like it looks hilarious. Doom is very kind, where it's just like, hey, listen. You had a hard day. You just want to slay some demons and not worry about it. We get you. Go
Yeah.
get in there, Tiger.
perfect.
All right. So some games seem to get it, and again, I'm telling it's just bizarre because it's like there can exist this little extreme hardcore avenue
Yeah.
of it's like if you're gonna play this game, you better be ready. Like this is for a certain type of person, and it feels like it's a shame, but I get it. Like I can kind of appreciate it. A shame in the sense that I would love to experience this, but I'm just unless you gave me easy mode,
No,
I can't.
I'm not going to do it. And God of War did a similar thing where there's Valkyries in there that you can fight, but you don't have to fight them to complete the game. But it's an extra added difficulty, so
Yeah.
do something there. Let me play the game, please. I'm watching videos on it. I'm like, oh, that's too difficult for me.
I want to see them actually call it dad mode though.
I'm
Right, just
all
like-
for that. Perfect.
Like insane, hard,
Yeah.
easy dad mode. And it's just like maybe like stream music in, like you can pipe in your baby monitor. So like
Yeah.
the baby monitor is in game.
Oh, and it has like a counter when you haven't touched the controller because you're probably asleep. So it just kind of like powers off the game. Like,
Or just it first tries to vibrate the controller for you to try to wake you up like an alarm
That's right.
clock. And if it doesn't, it just like, good night, sweet prince. Bzzz. Just sets
you've
it
been
down.
playing for 5 minutes. Do you want to take a break?
Hey, big guy, you had a long day. Do you don't want to just go?
Can you hear your kids sneaking up behind you? Okay. Yeah.
360 cam. It's like, okay, you're in this world,
Yeah.
but here's the rest. Like, don't forget.
That's right.
At any
Yeah.
minute, your kid's gonna go.
That's right.
But that'll be an adventure for another time. But I think we'll go ahead and wrap it up there, though. So thank you so much for listening. This has been New Dad Gaming. If you'd like to reach out to us with a question, a game tip, a dad story where you threw your daughter across the room playing a game, such as we had with our Gaming Dad Victory submission this week, you can go to our website at newdadgaming.com. You can find us on Twitter, Instagram, or our Facebook group. If you'd like to subscribe to the podcast, you can find us on Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, any of the podcasting services. If you like the show, of course, we would absolutely adore if you subscribed, left a review, and passed along to any other gaming dad. So until next time, my name is Trevor, and I have a 1-year-old and a 3-year-old. I'm not going to play Sekiro, and I'm not invited back to the pool.
And I'm Jeff. I have a 8-year-old and almost 6-year-old, and I'm totally open to going to any pool. I'm not banned for any pool, and I can watch Sekiro on the sidelines. So
Yeah, just don't have your birthday party there.
yeah, that's right.
All right, we'll see you next week.
See ya.